Hi everyone. In this video, we will be learn about different programming paradigms and its use case. Programming paradigm is the style or approach used in writing computer programs. It defines the structure and organization of code. It also defines how the program will be executed. There are many different programming paradigms. Some of them are imperative programming, functional programming, object oriented programming, logic programming, and declarative programming. Imperative programming. Imagine you are writing a program to calculate the sum of the first 10 natural numbers. In imperative programming approach would be to write every single steps to accomplish this task. Let's see how we can solve the programming in imperative approach. Here we'll first create a variable called sum and initialize with initial value 0. Then we'll create another variable called I with initialized value 1. After that, we will create a while loop and we will check if I is less than or equal to the 10. If it is, then we will add 1 to the sum and increment I by 1. We will repeat this process until I is greater than 10. Then we will print the sum variable. So overall, we specified every single detail how the program will be do this task. Now let's see how we can solve the same problem without following the imperative programming approach. In this approach, create a variable called sum and then multiply 10 with 10 plus 1 and divide it by 2. This is a simple math formula to calculate the sum of the first 10 natural number. So what I want to show you here, we did not specify every single details how the program will be do this task. Instead, we just give them what we want to do. This is the difference between imperative programming and other programming paradigms. Now, let's move on functional programming. In functional programming, we use functions to do the task. Let's see an example. Here we first created an array with 10 numbers using array form function. After that, we used reduce function to calculate the sum of the array. So overall, we don't specify the steps to do the task. Instead, we specified what we want to do. Now, let's move on to the next object-oriented programming approach. In object-oriented programming, everything is handled using objects and classes, where objects have properties and methods to solve problems. We created a class called sum. The class has property called sum, which is the initialized with 0. The class also has two methods called add and getSum. The add method adds the given number to the sum property. The getSum method returns the sum property. Now, let's see how we can do this in logic programming. In logic programming, we specify the rules and facts. Then we ask computer to find the solution. Let's see how we can solve the same problem. Here we first create a function called sum. The function takes a number as an argument. If the number is 1, then we will return 1. Otherwise, we return the number plus the sum of the number minus 1. So overall, we specify the rules and facts. Then we ask the computer to find the solution. It's a recursive function, so it will call itself until the number is 1. Now, let's say about declarative programming. In declarative programming, it's an way that programmers specify what program should accomplish by describing the problem rather than describing how the program should accomplish the task. Like functional programming, we don't specify the steps to do the task. Instead, we specify what we want to do. Here, we will create an array of 10 numbers. Then we will use reduce function to calculate the sum of the array. So overall, we did not specify the every single step to do the task. Instead, we use specify what we want to do using function. So basically, they all are different approach to solve problem, and they all have their pros and cons. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in next video.